once you take a look at the designs that you created for this pinch pot project, the one that is colored with the slip, you take a look and you could decide maybe you don't like one particular one, but maybe a combination of two. Whatever you decide, that's fine. If it changes as you start drawing it onto your pinch pot, that is absolutely fine. What I am looking for, though, is the use of pattern and design using 3 different shapes. That's important. I'm going to be using that in the rubric guide in my judgment of these pinch pots for this 25-point project. So I've got my pinch pot. I've got a pencil. First thing I want to do is actually draw out the design using the pencil. Now, and Matt, you're going to have the same experience with drawing on your pinch pot because it's no longer soft. So when I draw on this, and I'll draw exactly opposite. So when I draw on this, the graphite goes on, which is absolutely fine. That's what I want it to do. And if I make a mistake, let's say I'm drawing this rectangle, and I'm like, oh, too bad. I wanted it to be a triangle. I wanted to do a square. At this point, it's really no big deal. I don't even have to bother erasing it. I could go over, get some blue, and touch it up. You could, if it's light enough, wipe it away, and then touch it up with the blue, and start over. I've carved nothing yet. The pencil will burn away if I make marks that I don't want, and I could just get rid of it if I haven't done any carving. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat my design from the other side on this side. What I want to be careful of when I'm doing this is that I don't push down the pinch pot onto the table because that could crush it. So when I'm doing this, I really don't want to see you putting it down on the desk, which is, I think, a natural tendency, or even if you're carving at home, to do this at home onto a tabletop because you might crush it. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw. So on this side, I've drawn out my design. And I'm going to get a tool called the Sgraffito tool. And you're all going to have that to draw with for the day, or to carve with for the time in class. And I'm actually just going to pull away. And now my clay is actually starting to dry much more than it was this morning when I was doing this. So I'm getting a little bit more of the crumbs or the little dust that comes with it, which is no problem. Aside from the Sgraffito tool, that is just, it almost looks like a bent paper clip. You're going to have just a brush that's dry and clean to just brush away the crumbs. So my goal is to take away the blue or purple, whatever color you're using, take away the colored slip, the underglaze, and expose the clay underneath so that you're seeing your design. Now, I tend to go pretty deep into my cut. What you need to do is go deep enough to expose the clay. You don't have to, if I like mine more recessed down. As long as you're removing the color to expose a shape, to create a shape, then you're good. So if I've got circles to do, I'm going to do a circle motion. And then again, just every once in a while, just dust it off. And so I'm just going to keep doing it. It's very cathartic, maybe more meditative. I find that when I get involved in carving out into a piece of pottery, that, I don't know, it could be very relaxing. And it's kind of fun to see. Once these are fired, you're going to see a really big contrast because the gray clay turns pure white and the blue gets more vibrant when we put clear on them. So you'll see a big contrast in the final process. So